and then he eventually gets in the box.
Swung it by Modric, he's there again! Oh, he's guided another one in! Karim Benzema is unstoppable! The first one was all about the power and the accuracy. The second one was delicate and superbly played, and Real Madrid lead 2-0.
Well, right on cue.
Right, ready to go?
Does so.
Right, it's good to have you back live.
Thank you.
It's been a while. Only one you've done is the one with AJ and Grant at his, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Good to
good.
be back.
Was that?
Good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's great to be back. We both, I've noticed as well, we both got tracksuits on, all black.
Comfort's key, mate.
Comfort is key, absolutely. So we'll start off. We said we're going to start off for the Old Firm. What were your thoughts on it? Did you watch the whole game?
I watched most of it. My thoughts wasn't the best of games. I've expected a bit more football from both teams.
Yeah.
It was a little bit long ball, but I had 2-1 Celtic. I put a bet on 2-1 Celtic, so I called the result right.
Oh, did you? Oh yeah, you posted it in the
I
chat.
had the free bet, £2 free bet from my bookie, so
What'd you win?
22 quid or something.
Ah, mate, it's a couple of beers at the weekend.
It's straight on the Masters Fund this week. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Who have you bet? Who have you gone for there? Nat Tiger.
Got to be Tiger, right?
Yeah,
It's got to
Tiger.
be. I'd be raging myself if I didn't back him when he won, or
Yeah,
even
definitely.
producing the top 10 or something. Like, it's just, I can't. I'm just buzzing to see him play, man. Even just seeing the photos yesterday,
Yeah.
or in his practice round today and stuff in the gallery, like, it's mental how much just the crowds that he gets. Like, I've not seen anything like that in the last, since he's been injured from his car crash. In the last few rounds of a major championship,
Yeah.
I've not seen crowds like that, and he's producing that in a practice round.
Yeah, it's
Like,
unbelievable.
it's scary.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I'm buzzing for it. I picked him. We did a draft last night. I picked him first, and all the boys laughed at me. But I'm like, look, you don't believe in sport if you don't think he can do it.
Nah, so I'll be backing him. I'll be backing Dustin Johnson.
Okay.
And I think I'll be backing Xander Schauffele and a little bit of homegrown support for Bob Mack.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I need to get some bets on. I'm getting into the golf, but I need to get some bets on with that. But anyway, we'll put it back to the Old Firm. The Masters will be a good weekend. So yeah, so you watched. You didn't think it was a great game.
Nah, I thought Rangers started well. Obviously they got an early goal. They were pressing really well, and then Celtic equalised pretty quickly after.
Very quickly.
And the first half was pretty electric. To be fair, the first half was good. I think it was 2-1 at half time, wasn't it? I'm sure
It did go 2-1 at half time. Yeah.
the second half was just a bit, I don't know. Rangers pressed a lot. They swung on a lot of balls. Celtic defended pretty well. They missed Morelos so badly.
Hugely.
And I think that's going to. I think the title race is already over. But if there's any doubt at all, then it's certainly over now because Morelos has been confirmed out for the rest of the season.
I would say I was out with Scotty on Friday, and Scotty admitted that Morelos is out. The title's over.
Aye, I think that's their European. Well, not like I don't think they're ever going to win it, but I think they've struggled to even get past Braga with him.
Yeah, he's huge. Like you're right. Like on Sunday, you felt like if he was there, that was just what they were missing a little bit. Celtic defended well though.
They did defend well. Yeah, credit to them. Like they did defend really well. They had a lot of balls to deal with, but I just think Morelos has that striker's instinct. He might have been on the end of these balls and stuff. And Roof's a good player, but he's just not the same. He's not the same presence as Morelos.
Agreed.
And yeah, so that's what 6 points ahead with 7 games to go.
And they only play each other one more time.
So Celtic need to lose 2 games. They need to drop points in like 3 games.
Pretty sure I heard they haven't lost since October in the league.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
And their games that they've got left, so the hard ones obviously Rangers again, but they'll have them at Parkhead.
Yeah.
Hearts, they'll have them at Parkhead.
Right.
So they're harder games in the top 6 split they've got at home, so I don't see how it's possible. I just can't see them dropping points.
Yeah.
They need to lose 2 games and draw 1, and Rangers need to win all the remaining games, and it's just not happening. So I think league's done.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm with you. I can't see them turn it around at all. And Rangers, the fact that they can only play them one more time is Reece James. They can only play them one more time. Yeah, it's just if they just drew that game, they could have kept it in the hand.
Yeah,
but it's done.
Nah, I think it's done now.
Did you? Do you watch? Do you still stick or watch an open goal?
Yeah.
So watch it yet? I've not watched it yet, but Greg was saying that Halliday made a good point, and we were talking about when we were watching the game actually about like how none of the attackers on either side really actually did anything in that game. Either way, it was quite like a blunt attack from both teams, which would lead me on to the discussion that we've had on our WhatsApp group about Ryan Kent. Can I just read out the stats and then we can have the conversation?
Yeah.
Okay, so right, so let's just read out his stats first of all. I pulled them up here a minute ago. Right.
So are you pro Ryan Kent or against him? What's your thoughts on him as a player?
Okay, so before I go into the stats, I think he's impactful. I think that I understand that he does more than just assist and score, which I would want a wide player to do, but I'd say he is a bit more of like an older school winger than he is like in the inverted like narrow attackers like your Salahs, your Manes, whoever you want to say, like stuff like that. So I don't think he's a bad player, but I don't know. I mean, well, let me say this, right? This is my only thing. So he's played 23 games in the SPL this season. He's got 2 goals, 6 assists. In the Europa League, he's played 9, 1 goal, 2 assists. And then, if we want to go into the League Cup, he's played 1 game and got nothing. But so, like, everyone says how amazing he is. I would just expect a bit more on the output there, basically.
Yeah, so I think he comes under that player that I think he's a sort of he's who you pay your money to watch. He's a sort of player that you're like, wow, who's that? Is that sort of impact when you watch him play? I'd agree that his numbers should probably be better goal scoring wise, but then again, I think Rangers' change of formation this year has impacted his numbers going forward. I think with Gerrard, he played more as an inside forward, front 3, and Van Bronckhorst has changed it to a 4-2-3-1, and he's kind of playing more as a wide left. As well as Rangers not actually playing as well as what they did last year,
definitely
is impacting his numbers. I think last year he scored about 10 goals in the league.
He did. He got 10. Just having a look, 10 goals, 9 assists.
Which, in my opinion, that's a good return.
Yeah, I would say so.
So like, if you're say like out with the elite players, so like obviously you've got like say in the Premier League like Mane, Son, and then players abroad like Mbappe that kind of play like wide left coming off from that. Apart from those guys that produce like 15 goals every year consistently, who actually produces 10 goals a season?
Yeah, it's a great point.
Or like in your head, what is your kind of numbers that you'd gauge it on? Like what's your returns that you'd be like that's a good season for that position?
I would say for Kent, the way he's talked about, I would say I'd want 10 from him. So I'd say last year's a great return. Like that's a high level return.
And what was his assist?
9.
Was that the same? So 10 goals, 10
I would
goals,
say
assists,
so,
is that your sort of...
I would say for him, where I think the level he's at, and to be fair, yeah, if you're taking it out with the elite, then I would say that's a decent number. I think you're right on the change of position this year. I think that's impacting him.
Yeah, I think it's impacting him a bit massively, but I think he gets scrutinised a lot on his numbers, and I'm not sure why, because I don't think that Kent is good enough to play like top 6 or traditional top 6 club in England.
No,
I wouldn't say he's good enough to play at that level. But like the next group of players or the next group of clubs between like 7th and 12th, you said last week in the group chat you don't think he'd be able to play in a top half England team. Greg said the same, and the first thing that Greg said was, what is the stats?
Yeah.
Like, and I agree, if you'd never seen Ryan Kent play football before and you just looked at his stats, you'd probably say not a chance he's good enough. But I mean, I've got stats here from players.
Come prepared.
From players around the 7th to 12th mark for the club.
Okay, let's hear it.
In their similar positions to Ryan Kent.
Sure.
So you've got obviously Ben Rama, who we talked about in the chat.
Yeah.
This year, you think's had a really good season. 6 goals, 6 assists.
Okay.
Last year in a full season, 1 goal, 6 assists.
Okay.
Podence for Wolves. I'll just go for the full season last year.
Yeah. 3
goals, 2 assists.
Yeah.
Harvey Barnes, who I thought had a really good year last year, 9 goals, 4 assists.
Okay.
St Maximum, who's talked about all the time as being a world beater.
Yes.
3 goals, 4 assists.
He's having him in fantasy. He's been terrible.
Trossard for Brighton, 5 goals, 5 assists. Like, if you're looking at these guys' numbers without seeing them play, now
Yeah.
I'm not saying that any of them are bad players, by the
No,
way.
yeah,
I think they're all really good.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you just look at their numbers, you're like, they can't be that good. But
Sure.
when you watch the Maximum play on the telly, you're like, wow, he's a really good player.
Yeah.
Adama Traore plays for Barcelona.
Yeah.
His stats are fucking honking.
Yeah, very bad.
So I think, in my opinion on Kent, is he's a sort of player that his goal return maybe could be a little bit better, but then what are you actually expecting a player like his goal return should be?
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
Because he's hit. You just said that I would say a good season for Ken,
a top level season would
top
be
level
10.
season 10,
Yeah.
and he's hit that last year.
Yeah. Oh, 1-0 Madrid, Benzema, huge. Yeah, I would say 10 for me for Ryan Kent.
And if you said for these players and these teams, and you're wanting 10, absolutely none of them will hit them. No, not one of those players has hit those numbers.
Yeah, and I don't know if any of them ever would.
So it means like.
So
if they can't hit those numbers, they're playing every week in the Premier League.
yeah.
Do you not think that Ryan Kent would be able to do a similar job for those teams?
So my question would be, there's a different. Would you agree there's a different in levels in the leagues?
There is. I'd agree with that. I also think, well, if you put it that way around, do I
Right,
think
yeah, go
those
that way,
players?
yeah,
Do I
yeah.
think those players would do what Ryan Kent did in the SPL last year? No, I don't. I don't think they'd be that much better. I don't think any of those players.
Maximum would it be fucking made of glass? Yeah, if you put it the other way around, that's a good point. I just maybe I'm just like, the talk is so hype about him, but to be fair as well, I'm thinking I would always say this about like Firmino.
Yeah.
Everyone would say to me, "Doesn't look at stats," and I'd be like, "Yeah, but I watch him every single week, and what he does overall for the
And you know
team
what
is
he's like.
yeah." So I'd be happy to concede that. Also, I don't watch Ryan Kent on a weekly basis either, but I'd be happy to concede to the fact, and from what I've seen in games, that he probably does a lot more if you're a consistent watcher than the numbers would maybe necessarily suggest. Obviously, last year I'm saying he hit probably what I'd want him to hit at a high level. So, I mean, yeah, I think it would just be interesting to see him come to Southampton, come to Wolves, whatever, and just see how he does at that level, because I guess it would be more open for him in games too.
Yeah, I mean, you see what he's like. Basically, I understand that. I mean, when there's talk about Ryan Kent, if he could move to a bigger team
Yeah.
or a perceived bigger league or better standard,
Yeah.
the first things that come to head are like, he's not consistent enough, his numbers aren't good enough. But in that position, it's very rare that you find someone that is consistent enough. Like I think that kind of winger sort of position is probably the most inconsistent position
Definitely.
in the football team,
Definitely.
and it's very streaky. Like, players are very streaky in those positions.
Yes.
Like, for their clubs, like even people like Zaha, who I think's amazing, by the way. I think Zaha's so talented, but he's very, very streaky.
I would say that, but I will say that about Zaha, yeah.
And I think like Ryan Kent has, when he's on it, there's not that many that are better.
Real Madrid. Yeah.
And I think what he's shown in like the European stage this year against Dortmund, what he's shown against Red Star, what he's shown in various moments is enough evidence for me to think he can play at a higher level.
And yeah, you can say he rises to the occasion maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, there's another factor that obviously he's Rangers' kind of main threat. Like, they don't have that sort of threat on the right hand side, in my opinion. So
It's a different player, different position.
they double down on him
A lot.
on a smaller, tighter parks. In the
Yeah.
Premier League, they don't press as much. They're going to have talent all around the squad, so they might not be man marked by two folk.
Yeah.
He'll have a bit more time, and you see what he does when he does have a bit more time. So it is interesting. Like, I'd be interested to see how he'd get on. But I think he'd be able to produce at a higher level. There's also like the price tag thing. Like, people, I think he'd be worth about £20 million.
Right.
And people, as soon as you see like £20 million above Ryan Kent's head, you're like, nah, no way, it's not worth that. But then Dan James went for 25 million to Leeds.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Kent's a better player than Dan James.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So I think it's just because, maybe just because he plays in Scotland, or it's just that price tag. Like, if he's down south, if he's the same player down south, people wouldn't bat an eye at £20 million.
Yeah, it's true. I would I think he's at the point now. I just had a wee look. So he's 25. He'll be 26 in November. So, I mean, what's he been at Rangers for? 1, 2, 3, 4 years? I think that's probably all his
a
years
year
ago.
on loan.
Right, yeah, you're right.
Third year.
And then they bought him in.
Yeah.
So this is his third year. So, I mean, but, I think this would be a good time for him to give it a go, because obviously it wasn't at the level for Liverpool. But it would put it this way, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it? It would be interesting. I think that you make a great point. I love the fact that you came prepared with that, because your Podences, St. Maximums, what are they hitting? 2-3 goals. Oh, it's not a penalty. 2-3 goals a season with a few assists. So, do you think he moves? Or do you think he stays?
I think he's actually out of contract in summer next year.
Okay.
I think he's got 1 year left, and I don't think he'd sign a new deal on that. If his agent or whatever is saying that these clubs are interested,
Yeah.
I don't think he'd sign that.
But then he's probably only going to move to a team that's maybe top half, pushing for trying to get some sort of Europa League.
Yeah.
Whereas he could stay at Rangers, challenge for titles, and be in Europe. So obviously the money is going to be 2-3 times, if not more. But so it would just be interesting. I think he wasn't the level of Liverpool. He's gone to Rangers. He's definitely one of, if not their best player. And I just think it would be a good time for him in the next year or so to make the step up and see what he can do in the Prem, and just see what he can do.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's one of those players for me that I just think you stand up, you take notice of him.
Yeah.
You can go both ways. He's very comfortable on both his feet. He's technically gifted. He's razor sharp, like the way he can just move a ball, turn defenders inside out. Like, it's just, like we've talked about, his numbers, he probably could be better.
Yeah.
But his general play and the way that he affects games, drags defenders out for other people to move into the spaces. If they had a more prolific striker, he might have his assist tallies might be more.
Sure.
Sure. There's all these factors to it, and I think that, like we've also talked about, like, you watch players in the Premier League and you think they're really good, but when you actually look at their numbers, are they that
Terrible.
good?
Yeah, but you've just clearly pointed out.
But then when you look at it, it's the first thing that people scrutinise Ryan Kent about, instead of actually basing on his general play.
It's a fair point. Look, I'm happy to agree with you on that, concede that. Definitely. I'm with you on that, and I think you should do it. I think you should make the move. I think you should make the move next year or two. That's not this summer, next summer. I mean, I don't see Rangers letting him go for free, but see what happens.
No, I think they signed him for £7 million from
Liverpool. Yeah, they'll make.
I think they'll make the money back in that plus some.
I think they could get at least 20 for him, if not a little bit more. In and around that mark would be a good bit of business. Anything else to say about the Scottish League before we kind of move on to Prem/Europe?
The split is very exciting this year. I think there's about 5 points separating fourth to 10th.
How do we look at that? Yeah,
which is pretty mental. The fixtures this weekend as well. I mean, you've got
Huge.
Hearts, Hibs. Hibs could lose and results going the opposite way. They could fall from about fifth. I think they're they're sixth. They could fall from like 6th to 8th or something.
That'd be class.
It would be class. Huge. It's pretty mental. Like Aberdeen are 10th maybe.
Right.
You think Aberdeen have had a shocking season? I think they have as well, but a couple of wins are all of a sudden in 4th place.
You're right. I was looking at the table the other day.
It's pretty mental this year.
Yeah, I was looking at the table the other day. I'll pull it up actually. Like it is tight actually. For the split, you look at Hibs are 6, 38, Ross County 7, 37, Livingston 37, Aberdeen 36, St Mirren 36. So I mean, even Motherwell 39. So that's mad. Anyone really from Motherwell, Hibs, Ross County, Livingston, Aberdeen, St Mirren could end up top 6.
Yeah, it's a shame that St Johnstone have left. They're kind of, I mean, they've picked up a bit of form recently.
Yeah,
they've kind of left that run a little bit too late. I can't see the teams getting dragged into that playoff spot for relegation.
Yeah,
but if St Johnstone had a couple more wins, I mean, 4th place could have been relegated in a couple of games, which is
that is mad. It's tight in there. I mean, the top two are the top two. Hearts are in their own wee spot, and then Dundee United have kind of just got in that 4th. But that's good, man. That, I mean, is it usually like that?
Nah, this is as close as I remember for a long time.
Yeah.
I think maybe like normally you have maybe 5th and 6th, or not even 5th. Normally you have like 6 to be decided on the last day.
Right.
There'll be like a fight between 6th and 7th,
Yeah.
and that'll be it. Like the normal top 5 are already secured.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the closest I can remember for a long time. None of the teams outside the top, Celtic, Rangers, obviously, Hearts have been really good this year. None of the teams have managed to put together a good bit of form.
Yeah. Why is Hearts Hibs on at 3 o'clock and not on, I'm assuming it's not on telly?
Not even on the telly, I know, it's a joke.
Shambles, man. Play it like 5:30 or something. I mean,
Yeah.
probably can't, but no, that's good. The Scottish League's tight there. So do you want to move on to Prem/Europe to wrap it up for the last 10? I mean, we're currently watching Chelsea get beat 2-0 by Real Madrid 30 minutes in. Greg made a good point last night with Chelsea. Is the bubble burst a little bit is what he said. I mean, I don't think he's saying it's gone tits up, but I don't know. Something's gone for them, eh?
Something has gone for them. I can't actually figure it out myself because it's the same team. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if the whole sanction thing's got to them a bit.
Probably.
But they just look a bit out of sync, out of sort. They've been
Yeah.
conceding goals as well. Like the Brentford result was mental. Obviously,
Yeah.
they're 2-0 down within half an hour here.
Yeah.
They're really tight at the start of the year.
Oh yeah, no, that was what they were built on. It was
Yeah.
like don't concede, win 1-0, 2-0. Lukaku's not even getting picked. Is he? Probably. Yeah, I mean, he's not getting picked. That's just not worked out. Obviously, they've clearly not seeing eye to eye, and he's also not performing at all.
Nah, Lukaku it's surprised me a lot actually. I thought I was one of the ones. I'm sure 99% of the population thought that Lukaku was going to be a hit.
Yeah, and push him towards a title maybe.
Yeah, at least 20 goals this season. I mean, he was coming off the back of a couple of very successful seasons in Milan.
Yeah.
I thought he'd suit Chelsea's system down at a T.
Yeah.
I thought it was exactly what they needed because the season before they created so many chances.
Couldn't score.
They couldn't score, and I thought if you replace Werner with Lukaku, then you've got a title winning team.
I agreed.
And at the start of the year, they did start like that.
Yeah.
Lukaku scored about 5 goals in his first 3 or 4 games, I think it was, and
Yeah.
then he obviously got injured. He came out with those comments about how they're not playing the system that he was promised to play. He misses playing for Inter Milan, and since then it's just gone to shit.
Some tits up.
And to be fair to Havertz, he's come on a bit recently. He's
I like
actually
him.
playing really well.
I like him. He's like developed into like this number 9, which they basically had to have, right? Because Lukaku's not performing. Werner, I mean, man, I was buzzing when Liverpool were supposed to get Werner, and that was absolutely just completely not worked for him, eh? Like, it's just gone on so long with him not scoring. It's been
Who would be
mad.
buzzing though? It was I don't know. What was his goal? His goal return in Germany was mental.
Mate, I was like, suits Liverpool to a T.
Yeah,
absolutely
he was-
buzzing for it.
Mate, I don't know what. It's a weird one. It's just not. He just must not be suited to the English league because he still scores for Germany when he goes international duty.
Yeah. But it's not working for him, man. Yeah, Chelsea need to be careful because they're currently 3rd on 59, and I mean Tottenham 54, Arsenal 54, West Ham 51, United 51. I mean Chelsea should pick up enough points to stay 3rd, but they've made it a little closer than they probably should have.
There is a slight chance that they could. I mean, I agree. I think they should have 3rd. But,
Yeah.
I mean, there is obviously an off chance that they could slip out the top 4 all of a sudden.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
I mean, they really are struggling. I mean, the Spurs look really good. They're picking up form at the right time.
Yeah.
I think they've got a good run in as well, their fixture wise.
Yeah.
Arsenal have got fixtures in their favour, like the amount of fixtures, they've got games in hand and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I think it's between Arsenal and Spurs for 4th. Definitely.
Yeah.
I think Man U are out of it, and West Ham, I can't see them maintaining enough
With
form.
Europe as well.
Yeah.
With Europe. I think I spoke with AJ about it the other week. Like, I think they're kind of like, look, Europe, like, let's focus on that because they've got a decent chance of winning that. Like, they're a decent squad. They got a decent chance of winning that. I think it's just mad. I was saying to Greg, like, Tottenham, Arsenal, West Ham, Man U, you don't trust any of them to put 2 wins in a row together. Never mind. So it's going to be chaos. It's going to be so up and down.
I can't at the moment. I fancy Spurs to get that 4th spot.
Yeah, with Conte at the helm, yeah.
I think they're playing. I mean, their form recently has been really good. They're scoring tons of goals all of a sudden. Harry Kane's obviously playing a different role, but still, he was the best player in the park on Sunday.
Yeah.
Without getting a goal himself, but
Shinola compared him, said he's like Diego Maradona. This guy.
I know, I read
Not
that.
too sure about that.
I'm not too sure about that either. But what do you think about his role? What do you think about him dropping deeper and kind of playing that sort of number
really,
10 almost?
It's really interesting because he's always been like just be in the box and score, and then the last couple of years he's started to do it, and he's unbelievable at it.
Yeah.
And now Son's kind of become the striker. I don't think anyone really saw it coming, to be honest.
Nah,
like
not at all.
I was like. As well, normally as you get older, you want to just be in the box scoring goals. So it's weird. He's kind of almost like dropping a bit deeper. His range of passing is unbelievable, and Son makes the runs for him. It's like it works so well. It's interesting. Like I say, I didn't see it coming. I expected him to, if not be more of like stay up there, get in the box and score. But it's like flip T assists, Son scores rather than the other way around. It's
What you say, it's passing's a joke. I didn't even a couple of years ago. I wouldn't have said to you Harry Kane's amazing at passing.
No way.
And now you could argue like he's probably up there with De Bruyne for
100%.
passing and stuff.
It was a pass he played the Sun. I don't know if they scored from it the other day, but gee, it was unbelievable over the top. I mean, Newcastle are all over the shop, but he was good. It's an interesting role. He's absolutely unreal. It's like a quarterback back there just pinging passes.
Yeah, and his goal return's not really dropped off either.
No, he's still
even for coming dropping deeper, he's still scoring the goals, but his assist numbers are mental.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if he's got that in the back of his mind as well, like going for assist records now.
Yeah. And it's like I can't think of anyone that's started there that now plays this role. They like drop deep and ping passes like that, but also like are technically still like a striker in the box. Like I don't know if anyone's ever done that.
The last one, the only one that springs to my mind is Rooney.
Yeah, fair point, Rooney. Yeah, you just talk about that in Sky.
But Rooney wasn't as prolific as Kane.
No.
When he started coming back, he wasn't scoring as many goals.
Yeah.
But he did play that kind of quarterback role.
Yeah.
He came deeper and he was just spraying passes for fun. I actually thought he probably could have played as a centre mid for the latter half of his career. But yeah, Kane's numbers are mental. I also think he just gets unfairly, like people slate him or people think he's not as good as what people say he is, or like I think Kane is unbelievable, a world class player. And,
definitely. I hope he doesn't go to City.
Nah, imagine he did.
I know, mate. This year, 29 games in the league. He's got 12 goals, 6 assists. We'll just say, Europe. He's got 8 games, 8 goals. So
well, that's most of his numbers have come from like after Christmas. Like didn't have the best of starts of the year.
Horrible start. Yeah.
But he's a sensational player. Like
some player, man.
And if he goes to City, you'd have to hand him the league for another 5 seasons.
I know, man. I hope it doesn't happen. What do you think about the bottom end then? Everton are currently 2-1 up on Burnley as we're talking.
Are they?
Yeah, they're 2-1 up, so that puts them on 28 points. Watford behind them, and Everton still would have a game in hand according to this right now. Watford on 22. So Everton win, that really pushes them into a spot where that might just be enough, because Watford and Burnley ain't picking up many more points.
Yeah, I can't see. Norwich are obviously down. Watford for me are definitely down as well.
Yeah, Watford are gone.
The thing about Burnley is they just seem to do it every year, manage to just scrape results. Like they're due to go down. They're one of those teams that just need to go down because I don't like watching them. I don't think they add much to the league. They just always seem to survive. I wouldn't actually care if Burnley went down.
2-1 Havertz. Unreal. Good goal.
And the teams above them, you got Leeds, Everton. They add to the Premier League. Like I want them to stay in the league.
Oh, definitely.
Decent players. I think they're too good to go. They're down there for a reason because they've been shite this year. But I think they're too good to go down. If you know what I mean.
No, I agree with you. I think they are too good to go down. I just think the squad is not great, but not that bad, and the manager's never been in this situation before. He needs to stay out of it for probably his to the beginning of his career's sake. So I think surely, man, they've got better players than Burnley's the last of the dying breed of teams too that are 4-4-2 tight, compact. Just to even Norwich come and play open and kind of get dicked. But
is it between those three? That's probably the only three that are now kind of will be on that 18th spot. Burnley, Everton, Leeds.
Burnley, Everton, Leeds, Newcastle are on 31 and Watford are on 22. So I can't see Watford picking up 9 points.
Nah, I think Newcastle have got enough now.
I think Newcastle could probably lose every game and still stay up between now and the end. I think they'd be alright. So Everton can't go down. Hopefully not, super frank. Do you watch Palace Arsenal at the weekend on Monday?
Palace were unbelievable.
Mate, unreal.
One of the best performances I've seen this season.
Unreal.
The amount their pressing was incredible. The energy levels from their team. Conor Gallagher is just superhuman. How fit he must be.
Unbelievably
he presses the life out of everyone.
Can't at Liverpool.
Vieira's doing an amazing job with them, and I was also one of his first critics at the start of the year. I thought that was an awful appointment, but nice. The thing is, they're playing really good football because under Hodgson they were more a counter-attacking team, relying on Zaha a lot.
Right.
Zaha was their main man. He probably still is their main man, but if Zaha wasn't on his game, Palace were struggling.
Definitely.
And now I think Zaha is still
should score.
He should score.
Benzema should have a hat-trick.
Zaha is now complemented by good players around him. Good technical players around him. They keep the ball. They're not so reliant on him and him only. They've got other areas that they can get at you. Like we saw on Monday, they pressed Arsenal to fuck. They couldn't handle the press. They could not get out the half.
Couldn't. Mate, I even thought of this about Palace for the last year or so when Hodgson was there. It's you looked at all the players for the most part the same. It's you looked at that team, you should be able to get on the front foot and press a bit, and he always just played his way. And then Vieira's literally just obviously done a good job, but it's look, we have the players to be able to step up and press teams like Arsenal. Let's go for it. Absolutely.
They're comfortable at the back as well. Anderson and I don't know, is it Guy? I don't know how to pronounce his name. They're good players with the ball at their feet. They're comfortable taking the ball and playing football. They don't just shell it. And obviously the left back Mitchell's come along. He's got his England cap the other day. So they're a good side. They are a good side. Good for
Vieira, man. He's done well. Right, we'll wrap up at the top end then. We've got the big game on Sunday. How do you think that's going to go?
For some reason, I've just got a feeling Liverpool might get a win.
I like that gut feeling.
I don't know why. Because my also gut feeling is Man City will win the league.
Okay, so you think Liverpool win Sunday, but City ultimately take the title home?
Yeah, and I just think, man, after this game for City, I can't see them dropping any points. Their running after the Liverpool game is quite favourable.
Yeah, it's very favourable.
And Liverpool's running. Not that I doubt Liverpool. I think Liverpool. But it's just I think is it Spurs away?
It is Spurs away. I'll double check that while you carry on. But Spurs, Man United.
And I think they've got Arsenal. And they will. It depends how their European run goes as well.
Yes, true. I'd hope the 3-1 last night probably puts Liverpool through. So we do still have to play Spurs at Anfield.
It's at Anfield.
It's at Anfield. So we got United. To be fair, we've got United at Anfield, Everton at Anfield, Spurs at Anfield. Yeah. I'm not talking rubbish, I'm reading that right. Yeah. So we're at Anfield. So that's huge. But still, I'm with you though. There's more chance of slip ups in Liverpool's fixture list than there is for City.
It's going to be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if Sunday's a draw. Obviously, both teams don't want to lose.
Yeah, I think it could get to a point where they're look, don't lose and just hope the other one drops points.
Yeah. But then at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a mad score.
Yeah, a pumping or something. Yeah, I think
that sometimes seems to happen. Then two teams, a 4-1 gets thrown in.
Yeah, well, it does.
But just with the stage that they're at and how close they are, they're not going to want to lose. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think Liverpool or draw would be my bet.
Okay.
I don't think Man City are going to win.
I like that. And what do you think? Chelsea currently 2-1 down at Madrid. Who are you going for the Champions League?
Who am I going for the Champions League? It's a toughie.
It's a tough one.
You can never rule out Real Madrid.
I know, mate. They're solid, so experienced.
It's a joke what they do. They're actually playing quite well in the league as well, but when it comes to the Champions League, there's just something about Real Madrid that they just seem to. I never ever think at the start of the year that Real Madrid are going to win the Champions
Nope.
League, but they always just seem to get to this stage and like, oh, they could win it.
Yeah, I agree. 13 European trophies, I think. Me and Greg were talking about last night. Unbelievable. I like that pick. We'll finish it with that live. I think that's good. That would be good, yeah? Cheers for doing it, mate. That was good to have you back. Right, so Liverpool win Sunday, City win the league, Real Madrid win the Champions League.
Tiger Woods win the Masters.
Tiger wins win the Masters. Let's go. Let's do it. Good. Solid, mate. Thanks for that.